Hello and welcome back. The next steps we're going to perform are on the stummel, and we're going to bring back some of the texturing. This is a shell briar, and meaning it should look like this guy, which is a pretty good example of this stuff, of their finish. And you can see the difference in the color primarily. Now the depth of the blast depended more on the wood than the equipment they used. Not completely, but largely. So specimens vary, but it should have the top of the rim. Notice this has got strong texturing on the rim. And here it's almost completely smooth. And I doubt it came that way from the factory. It looks like it probably got hammered on like a glass ashtray edge or something, and somebody did one of these numbers of sandpaper and tried to get the bangs out of it, which they did, but now we've got a smooth rim on an otherwise textured pipe. So we're going to chew that up a little, but in a deliberate way. And we're also going to do that here at the end where they leveled this. And you're probably thinking, well, this is all cheating. Why don't you get a little sandblasting unit and do it for real and not do it with dental tools? And the answer is that is in fact how Dunhill did it, and how pretty much anybody in the industry does it. They don't really blast up to the edge. For technical reasons I won't go into, that's very difficult to do. But you leave a smooth area and then go after it by hand. And if you look really closely at this, you'll notice that the last 3/16 of an inch or so are uniformly scalloped, like, well, just that, kind of a scallop pattern, which is not the way wood blasts. And there was a table of women at the old Dunhill factory that when the stummel and stem would come to them having been leveled against a abrasive wheel, and they'd go after it with little dental tools and do this by hand. So we're coming by the technique honestly. That's how it was done. It was probably done in this pipe, in fact. And so we're just going to pick up where they left off. And that's done, by the way, with a combination of these little rotary guys that you're familiar with. I imagine they're just odds, and you can get them in thousands of shapes, at least hundreds, and you just pick and choose according to what you are trying to accomplish. And about the main, most important piece of information with this is you want to start with the large ones, and the undulations, the general waviness, the breaking this flat line, the plane that's flat. You want to break that up. So use something large and put some kind of scallops and waves in there, and then move on to the small ones. If you put a finer gritty texture on an otherwise flat surface like this, it will look bad. It'll look artificial. That's not how wood naturally blasts with sand. So we'll be doing that, and then the final step, because it's all going to be chewed up then and much sharper than this kind of eroded looking blast, because a blast actually has a good hand feel that's kind of pebbly, and we're going to chew this up so it actually is kind of sharp, almost get splinters from it. So the last step will be to take another hand tool and using this kind of a thing called a 3M bristle brush, and they come in different grits from quite coarse to shockingly smooth. I think you're down to a micron. And with this, we'll spin it at high speed, and it's not polishing exactly. It's erosive, but it does it in a very pleasant way that's quite similar to the way particulate matter, like a sandblaster, would do, or would leave the pattern it would leave on wood. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to just film or video the first 20 or 30 seconds of each of these because it's repetitive. Once you see what I'm doing, there's no benefit or point to seeing it through to the end, because it'd probably take me 10 or 15 minutes to do all this. So I'll prepare to do that and film the first little bit, and there we go. Alrighty, back in just a second.